Hi, today before we move off the Tudor period I would like to show you my little Tudor tower. It's a 24 scale tower and I built it so that I could take it to pieces and lay it flat in my suitcase when I took it to exhibitions. And it was also an experiment that I was doing because I was thinking of doing a big castle and having the fronts of the castle cantilevered off the tower. So I made this turn and it's on a little turntable and it spins backwards and forwards. Before I get on to the story of this little tower, I'd just like to show you a wee bit more. This is quite a genuine, I did a lot of research for this building and I envisaged it as being part of a building from an old ruin, an old tower, and so I've made it so that the room's been grown up out of the stone part of the old tower. And of course I've used all my trusty wine box inners for the stonework and for the roof. And so as you go around the castle and its building, you can see incorporated into some of the old castle blocks. Like an old millstone by the looks. Coming around again, you can see the baker downstairs has got a very typical setup with his window where they had two shutters. One came down to put his goods on and the other one came out to provide some shelter. At night they closed up and locked up and he was quite safe. So coming around to the front again, we have a carpet seller on the ground floor and he has the same setup. Now, inside this little story going on, and this was my Tudor mystery. I had a little murder scene upstairs. So when I took it to exhibitions, people had to guess the answer to the murder. And it started off, the story started off with a group of friends having a drink in the tower one night and getting all boastful. And they were talking about this haunted room upstairs that nobody slept in because whoever slept in them that was found dead in the morning. And Henry said, "Oh, that's a load of rubbish. I'm going to go and sleep in there tonight." And they all said, "Oh, no, don't do that, don't do that." And he said, No, I'm going to go and sleep in the room." So off he went and he barred himself in his room. And in the morning, his mates came to rouse him and there was no sound. So they had to break into the room. And they found Henry dead on the floor. I have to say at this point that I did have a much better Henry. And he went walking somewhere from the dead. He rose from the dead. And so this was actually an article in my issue 33 of my magazine, if anybody wants to have a look at that. And so that was the question. Who killed Henry? And people had to guess. And not many people got the answer. In fact, for a long, long time, nobody ever got the answer. And finally, I got the answer of somebody who probably fittingly belonged to the medical profession. But I'm not going to tell you the answer. This is something you can have a guess at. And message me if you think you've got the answer of who killed Henry.